Oh yeah, look at him. The little fella. What kind of little red frog?
No.
So Amy broke.
Yes, I did break.
She broke today. So we
How many pounds? 26 pounds of cucumbers.
Yeah.
Because you didn't pick them for a day.
Yeah. So
And all these beans.
yeah, we broke Amy, and I think I broke too. But so we picked. How much was it?
58 pounds ish.
58
today.
pounds
So
of food today.
here you go, John. Just in case you say we're cheating.
Yeah, we want to make
We're
sure people
lying.
know this is not a rebag of what we already have
In there.
in here. This
Already
is
have canned.
new.
Today. Because we didn't pick for 24 hours.
We're gonna need a bigger house, not just a bigger boat. Yeah, and it's not counting our potatoes that are over there. Cool. So let's can all this.
Great, thanks. Awesome. Can't wait.
Yeah. And looking over here, this looks like it's gonna be a pretty sunset. So I'm gonna take you guys over to that, so we can kind of enjoy it. It almost looks misty over there. I don't know if it really captures, but the mimosa flowers just kind of glow in the sun. Good morning, everybody. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning here on Saturday, July 3rd, and today's going to be a not so fun day, but at least it's super great weather. It's not supposed to hit 72 until like 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock, and it's been 72 at 5 a.m. the last few days, so this will be super nice out here in the garden. So we picked a bunch of stuff yesterday, and today we get to do the glorious part of gardening, which is weeding. So like that, and that, and this whole entire thing. So good news is it's not really hot. So we're gonna get in here and pick some weeds and clean out some beds here, and then I'll run through with a tiller probably to the middle to clean it out, I'm basically using that as a cultivator. But I'm going to start over here in this ridiculous one right here. So I'm not sitting in the grass, but my peppers need it really bad. Everything does. Alright, so we'll show you some progress. I just wanted to show you guys what we've got to work with here. Do not hit my head on things. Actually, I might just finish this okra row right here. It rained, so they'll be easy to pick, but they are also growing super fast. So, cool. Oh, so we weeded these. Oh, that breeze is amazing. We still got to weed our tomatoes, but we weeded our peppers, which look insanely better. That row is actually not too bad. I'll probably come down this row one more time too. But you can see all the stuff we've thrown here in the middle that we're going to cover up with weed fabric. Hit my head. And then we weeded this row, our squash and zucchini row. Still got to throw some of those weeds over this way and probably pull a few more on this side. This one we did the other day, probably need to run down real quick in it. This one looks pretty good except for the end down there. And then we got to start weeding again over here. I came down with a tiller to loosen up some of the center stuff here because it gets pretty compacted and hard to remove. And then more stuff. It's just large tufts, so it's really, it looks worse than it actually is. But we got to get down in there and get this cleaned up as much as we can. Cool. All right, update number 2. Amy's in here pruning the tomato plants pretty heavily, just keeping the leaves off the ground. Again, we got this done. And then some of that bed, and I'm gonna go get some food. We got this part here done, which is pretty awesome. But everything looks much cleaner. We just got to get our piles out. And then when I come back from lunch, we're going to do okra and corn. All right, back out from lunch. I'm going to start down this row right here. And it's not too bad. But this row is really the bad one. So I'm going to make sure I get down here and I'm going to squash a few Japanese beetles too. They need to be squished. So we'll get this one clean and I'll start coming back down this one and then we start on our corn. Alright, it's 12 o'clock and it's starting to get hot out here, so I'm going to go do some mowing, which is a little bit of cooler activity. But I still got the rest of this row to go. I did this row. It looks pretty good. Just got to pick up what we put down. And then this row, I did basically both sides of that row, so I'm going to do all the way down here. And then we just have corn left to do today, which we should be able to do this afternoon. But it's getting warm. It's not super hot, but it's warm. The breeze feels good, so I'm just going to take a break and go mow. There's always something else to do. Right, so weeding recap. We still got to clean the rows out, but we weeded this row. This row, although that's all the tomato clippings we're going to pull out tomorrow. This row, all the pepper plants all the way down. We weeded this guy. We did not weed that guy, but it's fine. And we didn't weed that guy. This guy we weeded all the way down around our okra plants. Underneath is pretty clean. All the way down that row. Did not get to this one. I did till down the middle of a couple of these just to loosen it up a little bit in the walkways. And then I got this full row here and the outside of my corn. So the corn is on this row weeded really well. pretty good. So it should be good for the rest of the year. We're good. We're set. No more weeds are possible. Tomorrow I got to do these other 3 rows. This guy, and this guy. And then the other half of this guy. And this entire bed will be weeded. So tomorrow morning I got to get up early and maybe I'll hit some of these little ones here too. Have a little bit. We got to pick up all the old stuff or throw it here in the middle, and then we're going to lay down weed fabric over all of this and try to minimize some of the weeds. But yeah, I mean, most of them are just going to die right here, so it's not the end of the world. We got to get these out just because we don't want disease to, you know, hit these plants any more than it already has. And I probably need to water them again tomorrow. We had a good rain day 4 yesterday. It soaked the ground pretty good, and it's still really wet, but tomorrow I'll probably have to give them another good watering. Beans are still producing. We've been picking them like crazy. Squash still producing, not as much, but still producing. Got some wilting leaves down there I need to check out, but I'm not worried about it right now because our second plot of squash is about to start. So we may even very soon rip these out and just go with the second plot. And we got to pick our potatoes. And we picked some onions. There's still some that are knocked over there. We didn't pick all of them, but we'll get to those soon too. All right, guys. So with that, it's been a long, long day. And I'm going to go ahead and head back in and take a nice shower and wipe all this sweat off, because it was a nice day today. It was good for weeding, but it's still hot. It's still humid, so. Signing off from the garden.